Happy the minister is present. I thought it is morning hours where the minister finds himself. Welcome, minister.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm a
Yeah, and
morning person, Chair.
bring us some luck this weekend, minister.
Thank you, Chair. I hope so too.
Thank you so much. Honorable members, I am not going to spend much time due to the fact that we have received these reports, and I'm not going to give much time to the department, but I'm going to have my opening remarks on this important meeting pertaining to the department's performance, also to indicators, as well as to planning. We are all aware today, honorable members, that we are going to discuss the fourth quarter performance and also the first quarter of the 2025-2026 financial year. I want to draw the attention to members of Parliament that the financial implications and the governing trends pertaining to these plannings will have a lot of influence on sports, the development, and numerous other things relating to sports. Now, what I have seen in some of the performance indicators, yes, obviously targets are being set, but I also want to stress as the chairperson that it also seems that in some cases, indicators and reports have been shifted outside the framework of the previous financial year. So it is very difficult. I used to say if it's not measured, it never happened. But it also seems that people are focused on reporting rather than planning. So it is important for us to discuss these adjustments, how these adjustments has been made, and also with the particular concern that some of these adjustments are being made without the consultation of approval of the portfolio committee. A case in point is the questions around mid-year adjustments. We should receive some of these things during the mid-year adjustment. This includes the targets, and that does also include, an oversight from the committee as far as the targets is concerned. We cannot accept that we engage in unilateral changes which undermine the accountability lack of this important developments between the department and the portfolio committee. It raised concerns where funds are being allocated and whether this, funds that has been utilized, we need to know what kind of reason, of what has influenced such decisions, whether it is interference, whether it is negligence. Safe to say, I don't want to use the word incompetence. Minister, about 2 weeks ago at the Sports Awards, you have made that announcement that the video assistant referee system is coming, and it's also describing it as a FIFA requirement. You know how this committee feel about this, Minister. And we also acknowledge that the FIFA encouraged us to use the V.A.R, but it's also important to note that it cannot be imposed on us as a committee or as a department, because at the end of the day, what makes it very difficult is to justify why, a V.A.R system has been elevated to a program of national priority while we are struggling on other spheres when it comes to some of the federations. A great concern also, Minister, is the fact that an announcement has been made by the Department of 80 million rand of the V.A.R. As the committee, we are left uncertain about it. I've never responded on this because this program and allocations falls under a detailed implementation program, which I believe that we as a committee should have at least have some input in this. But also, as previously stated, the sudden change in the stance raises concern around a number of things: accountability, transparency, and also a policy consistency and fiscal prudence. I'm saying fiscal prudence, Minister, because the fact that we have experienced austerity measures in our finances and also allocations. So the lack of communication on this particular project, is of great concern to us as a committee. We want to place on record our deep concern concerning also on the handling of the federations. And despite the Treasury approval of the budget, and I must say, it was so premature for the department. I have seen so many letters signed by Dr. Kumalo, where some of these federations has been communicated with pertaining to their allocation and the cutting of their allocation, with us not even have enacted the procedure in terms of treasury. We have, and if you look at the letters and the dates of the letters, it was really immature to send these letters to the various departments without the approval of both Treasury and Parliament as well. Following this, the department continued to write to federations. We will meet. We have notified them, and we will also, find a way on how this grant reduction has happened under the guise of a particular funding model being developed by the department. So we need some clarity on that as well. Many of these federations who are instrumental to grassroots development that plays a critical role in nurturing young talent are yet to receive their allocations. We hope to get a broader understanding in this particular meeting of the new funding model, as a significant 80 million rand has been channeled into the V.A.R. project. If indeed the rationale is the introduction of a new funding model, then as an oversight body, we expected nothing less than a consistent and transparent and fair application of this model across all federations. This must include less resourced organizations such as Orienteering and the Gary Kirsten Foundation, who are equally vital to the sporting ecosystem. Anything less, honorable members, risk and undermine grassroots sport in this particular case. Honorable members, we are also mandated to ensure transparency, to ensure accountability, and the equitable allocation of resources. The department's reluctance to provide clear information on funding allocation has generated unhappiness among federations and also risk which undermining the credibility of the sector. I would like members to interrogate and also to insist that we get answers today. And also, I want to appeal to the department that we work closer to one another as far as this development is concerned in order to ensure fairness and transparency in sports pertaining to this funding. Honorable members, with that said, I will invite the Minister to give us a very short introduction or briefing, following by the Dr. Kumalo, the DG, who will then, on behalf of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, present their presentation. The Honorable Minister.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning to the DM. Good morning to the members. Chair, just to be clear, do you want me to answer on what you just said now or just greet? Just want to have clarity.
It should be fair to give you an opportunity to respond to some of these things, as there is, and you are aware of, there's uncertainty among members on this issue. And it also related direct to what we are going to discuss here today.
All right, I'll touch on both issues that you've touched on, Honorable Chair. I think let me start with the issue of the federations and funding, and then I'll move over to V.A.R. Chair, any person that has been following sports very closely knows that we have a problem. The problem that we're having in this country is that we are funding for 30 years federations that don't have offices. We are funding federations that don't have a website. We are funding federations that has no other or make no other means to raise money other than state money. State money is never enough to run a federation. Then you have very good federations that they get funding, they go out, they look for funding, they have an address. When you look for them, you know where to find them and how to find them. And so we have taken the post chairs, the department, to say, let's help them to fix this, because the bad federations get lumped together with the good federations. And it is very negative for the good federations because of the bad name of some of the federations. Yourself, Honorable Chair, you've had examples here of federations that uses the credit card improperly. You've had examples here of federations that leave the athletes and they would pay. I mean, I took over where super fans were prioritized before athletes. That cannot be. So to answer you, and I'll make you an example with two federations. We have cut the money of all federations in wrestling. But we told the federations, we will meet with you. We will meet with you and help you and hold your hand and help you to meet sponsors, help you to mitigate the risk that you are facing, making sure the money goes there. Now, wrestling is an example of a federation that we've also cut. But if you see, after we met with wrestling, after we've listened to the problems, after we got together, the money that we would have given them and what we are giving them now is more than what we have given them, because we have come to realize that they demands are not pie in the sky. We've come to help them. So wrestling at the moment is getting more than what they would originally have gotten. Gymnastics, for instance. Gymnastics is one of the best run federations in the country. We met with gymnastics, we met with tennis SA. So I'm meeting with these federations. I think we've met with 15 of them already, with another 15 this week and next week. So, Chair, let me just end on that note as far as that's concerned. We can't have business as usual. Things can't go on the way they've been. We just give money as the state and we hope for the best. We can't have that. So what we're doing now, we are not punishing no one. We are holding the hand, we are getting involved. The president of Tennis SA, for instance, when we met, he said he's been in tennis for 30 years. It's the first time he's meeting a minister and that is sitting down with him. And it's not criticism for the previous ministers. He says, I appreciate this working together. Wrestling had the same sentiment. So all I'm saying in conclusion is that this is not to punish, but there is a problem with our sport and our federations. And we as the department is now fixing that together with them. We are not saying this is our way or the highway. We engage with them. Sanabo, for instance, came and they gave a brilliant presentation. And we couldn't even find one fault with the presentation. So that's what we're doing with the federations. They are not being cut money just willy-nilly. We're giving them so that quarter one, quarter two, for them to proceed. And we're now saying to them, all right, guys, what do you need? How can we help you? Let's set up a meeting with us. Let's set up a meeting with it. Gymnastic, once again, has set up a meeting with a sponsor and they want the department to be part of that, just like we're doing with SARU. So that is as far as that concerned. V.A.R, I think I need to answer this question broadly and straightforward. The majority of people in this country watch football. Football is the sport that is enjoyed by the poor. Majority of people watching football. There's no other entertainment than watching football. Now, V.A.R, people talk about V.A.R, but the truth of the matter is that money is not only for V.A.R. It is for something much more important than V.A.R. It is for connectivity in all stadiums. Parents can't send their children to the football. When you're at the football, you can't use your phone, Chair. You cannot use your phone because there's no connectivity. We live in a world where connectivity is life-saving. People can't call Ubers afterwards and they stand there and they can't get through to the Uber. The girl child is in trouble when they stand at the stadium. You cannot contact, your business can't run. That's why our stadiums are so empty, because people lose 2-3 hours or 4 hours of the time being cut from the rest of the world. And in today's world, for some businesses, that's near suicidal. So that's number one. That money, I'll even say half of that money, is making sure we have connectivity in all our stadiums, that parents can have contact with their children. That's one. Two, why V.A.R is important. We are in discussions with very big teams around the world to come and play in South Africa. And the first question those teams are asking us, do you have V.A.R? Because our insurance, our players will not play where there's no V.A.R. And you speak to the stadium management in all the provinces. Whenever there's a dubious referee decision, the chairs are being broken, there's violence breaking out, people are throwing stuff at the pitch. Those things can lead to loss of life. Now, it is soccer in this country does not get the sponsorships of the sponsors that rugby, for instance, get. Football doesn't get that type of money that rugby gets. So V.A.R, we are not a banana republic. We cannot be beaten by countries in Africa that already has V.A.R, and we don't have V.A.R. We have the best. Dr. Irvin Khoza and his team has made us the best run league on the African continent. The PSL is by far the best run league under the leadership of Dr. Irvin Khoza. Now, how can we not, if we are off the field the best, how can we not have off the field the best? If you are saying to me that 40, 50 million rand is a waste of money for the majority of black people, then I do not know what are we standing for as leaders. Because the poor people want V.A.R. The poor people that watch football, V.A.R stop injuries. Our players are going to play in America with the World Cup. And if they will do silly things like punch a player off the ball, not knowing, but if you have V.A.R, you know it's watching everywhere. So, Honorable Chair, when I land my plane, let me say this. If you look at the majority of people that watches football in this country, that money is a pittance compared to the result of V.A.R. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I'm now going to give an opportunity to the DJ.
Nothing. Sure, I would do honestly.